28. You see your letter? It was way too nice. Yeah, you could, I'll take a check on that one. I won't redact it. Absolutely true. You know me, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. Unless it was worth a lot of money.
We're all here. There's Becky.
Looks like we got them all. Sure.
Looking forward to this?
Thank you.
Yeah. It's fun. Oh, you'll,
Tom, that's not Jason Baskin.
it's very enjoyable.
No.
You'll like it. A year from now, you're gonna see it.
We're still missing Jason Baskin.
Tom, I don't have to sign anything, do I?
No, Stan can sign a minute.
That's 29. You know what? For once, I'm gonna go early. I'll say the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And for my first action and final action, I am going to turn the meeting over to new Mayor Steve King. Good luck.
Those were the fewest words spoken by Mayor Tom Steeman in a number of years.
All right, Steve, you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Steve King,
I, Steve King,
having been elected to the office of mayor
having been elected to the office of mayor
of said city of Austin,
of said city of Austin,
do swear that I will support the Constitution
do swear that I will support the Constitution
of the United States and state of Minnesota,
of the United States and the state of Minnesota,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations. And I need your autograph on that. I got a pen here.
Thanks, Tommy. All right, this seems really unusual that to be sitting here after 12 years of the city council. I've really enjoyed it. Tommy, Sarah, thank you. Thank you for your service, Tom. We'll miss you, buddy.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. So we also like to congratulate the new council folk we have. Obala, welcome, and Mike Postma, he's on the Zoom meeting. I went to their swearing-ins today. A little different between Obala's and Mike Postma, and Paul got also on Zoom. He was also gave the oath of office again, but it's great to have the new blood. It's great to have new folks on this. I know outgoing council will be missed as well. Laura's here. Appreciate what you've done over the years, and it's just we hope to continue. I hope not to mess it up too bad. I just want to say Austin has excellent city staff. That's what I'm most proud of, and continue to hopefully maintain that level of staffing and the quality that we have. Also, I don't want to forget my family who came here today. My mom, Mary, and sons Carter and Sam, and my wife Shelley. Thank you very much for coming. So with that, that's about all I'm going to do. There'll be no dancing, Obala, for me, like there was at yours. But
I was waiting for that.
I jokingly said there'd be maybe some break dancing for me, but that'd be about it. But, so we can get the meeting started if we could. All things are in order. Roll call. Sorry, Tommy.
Mayor King,
Present.
Councilmember Fisher,
Present.
Baskin,
Present.
Obala,
Present.
Waller,
Present.
Postma,
Present.
Pashusta,
Present.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Present.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. Looking for a motion adopting the agenda for the night with the addition.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I heard a second there somewhere. I'll
Joyce
try.
Pashusta.
Joyce.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. Looking for a motion for item number 2, approving the minutes from December 21st meeting, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Paul and Becky. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Under recognition and award, item number 3, we have Trish Heron. I believe is she zooming up there? This is, I'm conflicted on this one. Being a county employee, I gave my several cans of food to the county side of things, not to shirk my city council duties, but you guys city always wins, so we're trying to kick the county a bone once in a while. Well, again, we did not succeed as a county. The city was obviously the winner again, but there may be some question marks. I know Trish thinks that we should kind of have a review or an audit of how this worked out with the weighing, but maybe next year, county. So again, everybody wins when people give, I think maybe Trish will speak to it, the most amount of food that we've ever gotten in all of the years was this past year. So people were very generous, and it really doesn't matter who wins, who loses. But again, to have that food shelf stocked up is what's important. So Trish, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, good evening, Your Honor, and all you council members. It's a pleasure for me to be here tonight to present the In the Spirit of Giving Award to the Austin City Council. Since 1993, the city and the county have had a friendly food drive competition to collect food for the Salvation Army. In the 28 years of competition, the city of Austin has won 21 times and the county 7 times. Together, we have collected 63,433 pounds of food. This year, Mower County put in an all-hands-on-deck effort, and we were sure we were going to win. So on weigh-in day, when the math did not go our way, we insisted that the numbers be rechecked. We may have made up an allegation or two that were later found to be unfounded in order to delay admitting our defeat. But we did in fact discover one true irregularity. Due to COVID this year, the county did most of our shopping online with donated money versus collecting cans and having people bringing in cans. And after the weigh-in, we discovered that our order when it was delivered was incomplete. There were no substitutions that were made, so there was $300 of our money that was left unspent. So one could argue that you could add 300 more pounds to the county weigh-in. So I did that just to do the math, but unfortunately, we still didn't win. So I'm here tonight to humbly admit defeat and to congratulate the city. The county will be donating that extra $300 directly to the Salvation Army. As our mayor mentioned, 2020 was a record year. The county collected 2,509 pounds and the city 1,774 pounds for a total of 4,283 pounds of food. When averaged out, that comes to 9.06 pounds per county employee and $11.99 pounds per city employee. That's a lot of food. A big thank you is due to all of our employees who participated in this event, with a special thank you to those who hauled the food over to the recycling center. And this year I want to extend a special shout out to Jeff Weaver for arranging the weigh-in that he has done every year. He'll be retiring in 2021, so like Mayor Tom Steen, this was his last food drive. Each year I select one word that I use as a focus for my personal and professional growth. Last year it was clarity. Being it was 2020, I thought it would be a good time to focus on seeing things clearly. What kept coming up over and over for me was the power of partnerships, of working together for the greater good. My 2021 word is partner. both the noun and the verb. I want to be a good partner, and I want to focus on partnering even more than I already do. I'm grateful that the city and the county have such a great partnership already, and I look forward to where our partnership will take us in 2021. So with that, I would like to present the Spirit of Giving Award to the City of Austin and congratulate you on your success again.
Thank you, Trish. I couldn't agree more. The partnership between the city and county will certainly, it's going to grow. It's going to continue as it's gone and hopefully even get a little better. So appreciate your support and appreciate working with the county and all we do, including the food drive. Thank you. Moving on to motion, item number 4, looking for a motion for the consent agenda. And for the new council folks, the consent agenda is just something that's just generally routine that we don't spend any time on and just make a motion to approve. So I'm looking for a motion to approve the number 4 consent agenda.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. Under petitions and requests, designating depositories for checking and investments of public funds for 2021. Tom?
This is an annual statutory requirement for the city council to designate where we are allowed to put our funds for the 2021 year. Nothing has changed from last year, but our general checking account for operations is Wells Fargo. Payroll goes through Wells Fargo also, but direct deposits are processed through First Farmers and Merchants Bank along with the payroll ACH file. So all other city funds will just go to the Wells Fargo general account. In addition to that, the accounts we use for investment purposes are Wells Fargo, US Bank, Home Federal, Bremer, First Farmers and Merchants Bank, Sterling, and then Farmers and Merchants State Bank. Investment-wise, Wells Fargo Investment Services, US Bank, Dane Rauscher, UBS Payne Weber, Northland Securities, Wells Fargo Investment Advisors, Accenture Credit Union, and League of Minnesota Cities 4M Fund are authorized investment entities. So those are all the entities we do investments with. We try to get several of them so we can play each other off against each other to find some better rates. So with that in mind, we'd request council approve a resolution designating the depositories for 2021.
Okay. Any questions, council? Mr. Dankert? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion, or a resolution, sorry, motion for the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. Number 6, designating the official newspaper for the city for 2021.
Yes, annually we're required to designate the official newspaper. Austin Daily Herald has put in a quote of $5.07 per column inch for the 2021 year. They do meet the requirement of statutory to be a newspaper in our locality, which actually they're the only one, so we'd recommend approval of such.
How does this compare to last year?
I believe it's the same rate as last year, if I recall looking at it.
Okay, thank you.
And what about the quality of Mike Stoll's work? Are we happy with that? Oh, Mike's here, sorry. Oh, gee.
I will refrain from that. They do great work.
Any other comments on the newspaper?
I'll remember that, Steve.
If no other questions, we'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye, even with Mike reporting.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Well, I'll throw it the other way and vote aye because of Mike's reporting.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
And let it be known that in the archives of Austin history, that Obala's second was for the city newspaper designation, so there you go, Mike.
His first action of council
first
member,
action.
first motion or second was for your newspaper.
Nice job. Item number 8,
Seven.
Setting the mileage reimbursement for 2021, also Tom?
Annually, the city usually follows or has followed the federal reimbursement guidelines for mileage for individuals that don't have a car allowance that travel outside and even around the city of Austin. For 2021, the IRS has reduced the mileage rate from 57.5 cents per mile to 56 cents per mile. So we'd request council approval of that for reimbursing employees when they're traveling.
Okay. Any questions, council? If not, motion?
So moved.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. Item number 8, appointing Walter Davis to the Cable Television Committee, term expiring 12/31 of 2021. It seems self-explanatory, but I do have to note that our Craig Clark sent me the response from Walter Davis, and it's always heartening to see people that are really interested, genuinely interested in serving on a committee, any committee for the city, and this Walter Davis was over the moon to be able to serve in this capacity. So love to have city folks that step up and are willing to serve. So thank you, Mr. Davis. I'll entertain the motion for that item.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Jeff and Paul. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. The next item is accepting donations to the city. I believe we had one, and I want to recognize this woman. I believe she gave $100 and some to the Austin Police Department for some food cards. Does somebody have it up on their agenda? Carol?
195.
195.
Carol Schulmeyer.
Carol Schulmeyer, you know, as we get these donations, again, very heartening that people are thoughtful enough to consider maybe what the Austin Police Department has gone through in the last few weeks. To have a woman step up and gift them dining cards is remarkable. I wanted to make sure that she was recognized, so thank you, Carol Schulmeyer. I'll entertain a motion for that item. A resolution, sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Tom.
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Number 10 is also a resolution approving the purchase agreement with Leaning Tree LLC. Craig?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members. For our already elected members, this is property in the Crane Park subdivision, just east of the Hormel Institute. The adjustment, as we did title work, we discovered we were trying to sell property we didn't own. Actually, turns out it was under ownership of the railroad. As a result, we have a revised purchase agreement before you this evening. This is an adjustment taking that piece out and adjusting the purchase price accordingly on a square footage basis. We'd ask council approval of the purchase agreement included in the packet.
Any questions, council? And Mr. Byram, I'm assuming as our attorney that you would frown upon trying to sell property we didn't own?
That would be problematic.
Right on. I'll entertain a motion for number 10. Or resolution, sorry, number 10.
So moved.
Jeff, second.
Second.
Paul, thank you. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, approving a DNR grant application, looking for resolution. And Stephen, do you have some backup on that?
Yeah, council recently approved or tentatively approved a contract for pond re-excavation as part of the Turtle Creek project at 8th Avenue Southwest, and that was contingent upon this grant. So here we have a grant request to the DNR, and the total amount of the associated costs are $63,200. The grant request is for 50% of that, or $31,600. And in your backup material, we have included a breakdown of costs, where funds would come from, with the remaining 50% coming from the local option sales tax. So at this time, we would just request council authorization to proceed with this grant request to the DNR.
Questions? This is another example of, I think, what our half-cent sales tax gets us. So that's half of it, and half of it's DNR grant. Is that right, Mr. Lang? Is that?
Yes.
Yes.
Can anybody hear me on Zoom?
Not very well.
Not very well.
Marty, would you turn it up a little bit, please? Thank you.
Thank you. So we're looking for a resolution on number 11.
So move the resolution.
Thank you, Paul. Second?
Second.
Rebecca, thank you. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. The next 7 items are all Mr. Lang's, basically receiving a feasibility report and calling for a public hearing on February 16th, 2021 for street improvements on 8th Street Northwest, 8th Avenue Northwest to 13th Avenue Northwest, and 9th Street Northwest between 8th Avenue Northwest and 10th Avenue Northwest. That's looking for resolution for number 12. Stephen?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to turn this over to Mitch and he'll take these. But first, I just wanted to let the council know that, and some of the new members, that this is one of the first steps in starting our summer street reconstruction program. Our goal is to start our construction projects in May. And so in order to meet all the necessary bidding timelines, notices for assessments, and all the associated council meetings that go along with that, we work the schedule backwards. And tonight, the first council meeting in January starts that process in order for us to have everything in place to start these projects in the middle of May. So this is our first step. I'll turn it over to Mitch, and he can go through these individual projects and explain in more detail.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I've got 7 different projects here to go through tonight. The first of which is 8th Street Northwest and 9th Street Northwest. 8th Street would be the 900 block to 1300 block, and 9th Street would be the 900 block to 1000 block. These streets were likely reconstructed last in the 1950s. They're currently 30 feet wide. We plan to widen each street a couple of feet. 8th Street would be widened to 36 feet between 8th Avenue and 10th Avenue. And from 10th Avenue to 13th Avenue, we widened to 34 feet. And then 9th Street, we plan to widen to 34 feet as well. What would take place on this project would be removal of the pavement, curb and gutter, deficient sidewalk panels, and then we'd replace it with new curb and gutter, 4.5 inches of asphalt pavement with 6 inches of aggregate base. And then we would also upgrade storm sewer, manholes, mains, and catch basins during the project, as well as sanitary sewer mains and manholes as well. We will also install ADA compliant pedestrian ramps at all the corners where the sidewalk meets the street. And along with these projects, Austin Utilities piggybacks with us. They work on their water, gas, and electrical utilities at the same time, just to save costs for them. So they will have water and electrical work on this project. The total estimated cost for the project is $920,000, and we ask that we hold the public hearing for February 16th of 2021.
Thank you, Mitch. Questions, council, on that particular
I
project?
have a quick question. Is this, and I may have missed it, is this going to include the utilities removal of infrastructure? Is that starting yet? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, that would, the right-of-way ordinance is now in place. So we've been talking with Austin Utilities back in December, and we'll have additional meetings with them in the coming months to make sure that we're following the new ordinance that was passed last month.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Joyce. Any other questions on that project? If not, entertain a resolution for number 12.
So move the resolution.
Thank you, Paul.
Second.
Becca and Jeff, take your pick. Thank you. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Number 13 is receiving a feasibility report and calling for a public hearing on February 16th, 2021 for street improvements on First Street Southeast, Oakland Avenue East to First Avenue Southeast, and First Avenue Southeast, South Main Street to Second Street Southeast. Mitch again, or Steven?
Yep, still me. So this project is First Street Southeast and First Avenue Southeast, kind of near the post office and the Parenting Resource Center, a few other businesses down there. These streets were constructed in 1965 and 1953, so they've been around for quite a while. They're due for replacement. Currently, the roads, I believe, are 44 feet wide, and we'll plan to keep First Avenue at 44 feet, and then narrow First Street Southeast a little bit to 40 feet wide. These streets are concrete streets, and we plan to replace them with concrete rather than asphalt. So we'll be doing complete concrete replacement, along with the same storm and sanitary sewer improvements that I talked about on the last project, as well as head ramps and sidewalk improvements. Austin Utilities has water and electrical work on these 3 blocks, and the total estimated cost is $815,000. This project is slightly different. These 2 are state aid streets, so we will be using state aid funds to pay for them, as well as assessing adjacent property owners.
Thank you, Mitch. Questions?
Mitch, has it ever been looked at in your time with us that one way between First and Oakland, changing that to 2, coming from the post office to the fire station?
It has not been looked at since I've been here, but if that's something that should be looked at, now would be the time, since we're going to be reconstructing the road.
I don't see the purpose of it being a one-way there. When you're coming down First Avenue heading east, okay, it goes into 1 lane in front of the post office, but when you're going left, it doesn't really need to be 2 lanes there. You don't have that much traffic.
With state aid streets, if you have a one-way street, they require you to have 2 lanes of traffic. So if it remains a one-way, we have to have 2 lanes of through traffic. If we're a 2-lane road, obviously it'd be a lane in each direction.
Right, so if you're coming down First Avenue heading east,
Yep.
and you get to First Street to take a left north towards the fire station, that's where I'm saying there, that turning that into 2-way. You could leave First Avenue, obviously,
Sure.
one way. When you get down in front of, in that other little First Street there, I don't see the point of that being a one-way when there's not that much traffic where it needs to be, 2 lanes going the same direction.
We can definitely look at that. Off the top of my head, we would need to install a new leg of the traffic signal, since there'd be actually, no, we wouldn't. That they're all in place there. So, yeah, we'd have to look at that during our design process here, when we can certainly take a look at that.
It's just a thought, obviously it's been that way forever, but maybe it's time to change that.
Yep, we can look at that.
Just one thing to add there, Councilmember Fisher, I think historically the main reason to have First Street as a northbound one-way is to get the majority of the First Avenue traffic back to Oakland. The old roadway system if you would keep people on First Avenue, you would be narrowing 2 lanes of traffic down to 1 and forcing a larger amount of traffic continuing east toward 4th Street. And this was a way to kind of break up that traffic volume a little bit for eastbound First Avenue and get the through traffic back up to Oakland, which is a roadway that's better set up for higher traffic volumes. We can sure still look at it and report back what some of those traffic volumes are in that area and why we would recommend one way or the other on First Street there, what that should be. But I believe historically that's the reason, is to get people back to Oakland.
Yeah, I'd like to see some numbers on that if possible.
Okay,
Yeah, we can
maybe
put
we
something together.
put that on
Okay.
a work session sometime or something.
Stephen, this is Chief McKeegan. Would you have to then change First Avenue between Main and First Street? Because that's currently a one-way, and if you're in that left lane to turn north there, you'd almost make that a dead end. So by changing one, you'd probably have to look at First Avenue southeast from Main to First Street as well, to how are you going to handle that 2-lane one-way as it hits First Street. Because like I said, right now your left hand gets to turn north there, and like you said, get back and deal with Oakland. But if you made that a 2-lane road, you'd probably push a change onto that section of First Avenue then as well.
Yeah, it would make trying to control this First Street, First Avenue intersection a little more difficult, but we'll include that in our report back to the council.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Let the record reflect that Paul Fisher really slowed down a meeting for my first meeting. I really appreciate that, Paul. Of all people, thank you. We'll look forward to that report coming soon. We're looking for item number 14, receiving a feasibility report and calling for public hearing on February 16th.
We need to vote on 13.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, back it up. Looking for a resolution on that, number 13.
So move the resolution.
Thank you, Jeff. Second?
So if we move the resolution forward, are we including then this study and stuff then?
Yes.
Okay, second.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now moving on to 14, receiving a feasibility report and calling for a public hearing on February 16th, 2021 for street improvements on 19th Street Northwest, Oakland Avenue West to 4th Avenue Northwest, and 1st Avenue Northwest, 18th Street Northwest, and 19th Street Northwest. Mitch?
19th Street and First Avenue Northwest. This is over by St. Edward's Church, just north of Oakland Avenue. These two streets are both asphalt. Again, very similar to the first project I talked about. Currently, both streets are 36 feet wide, so that meets our kind of standard number. So we don't plan on widening these streets at all. We would replace the existing pavement, curb and gutter on 19th Avenue, or excuse me, 19th Street. And then on First Avenue, we would plan on leaving the curb and gutter in place and just replacing the pavement and subgrade. The curb and gutter is in pretty good shape there, so we save some costs and keep that in place. And then the same storm sewer and sanitary sewer upgrades would be planned for these two streets. Total project cost is estimated at $700,000. These are not state aid streets, so we would be assessing and using assessment revenue to help pay for these.
Mitch, on that 19th Street, if I recall right, maybe I'm wrong, there's not a lot of curb and gutter in that area on that 19th Street? Or am I wrong on that? Is there curb and gutter? And that's just a lesson that I learned years ago, that the residents only pay for that once. After that, the city pays for the whole thing if there's reconstruction. But is there curb and gutter going in that 19th Street?
I'm having a little trouble hearing you, but I think I heard there's not much curb and gutter there currently on 19th Street, and that is correct. It's missing in a few places. We would plan to install curb and gutter where it's missing. currently.
Okay, and then the property owner pays for that initially, and after that, the city pays for the total cost, any other reconstruction.
Yep, we assess for first time installation of curb and gutter, and then from there on out, you are not assessed for it.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, council? Item number 14, looking for resolution.
So moved.
Paul, thank you. Second?
Second.
Joyce, thank you. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Number 15, receiving a feasibility report and calling for a public hearing on February 16th, 2021 for street improvements on 16th Street Northeast, Oakland Avenue East to 3rd Avenue Northeast, and 1st Avenue Northeast, Oakland Place Northeast to 19th Street Northeast. Mitch?
First Avenue and 16th Street Northeast were both originally constructed in 1961. First Avenue is a concrete street and 16th Street is asphalt. We plan to convert First Avenue from concrete to asphalt. It's not a high traffic road, and asphalt is more cost effective to replace. They're both 36 feet wide, so we do not plan on widening these. We put the same asphalt section in with 6 inches of aggregate base, and plan the same storm sewer and sanitary sewer upgrades. Austin Utilities also has work planned on these projects too. The total project cost is estimated at $1,080,000 for these two streets.
Thank you, Mitch. Any questions?
Mitch, I have one that I've been wondering as we go through these, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit. How do you decide between concrete and asphalt when you're looking at these streets? Because some are changing and some are staying the same.
Generally speaking, our higher volume roads are concrete roads in town. So looking at First Avenue Northeast, this is over by Eastside Lake through a residential neighborhood. The only people that are probably driving on this road are people who live on it or live further down the street. A couple of years ago, we converted 19th Street Northeast, where this project ties into. We converted that from concrete to asphalt, as well as 5th Avenue Northeast last year. So asphalt, the useful life isn't quite as long with asphalt, but it's cheaper to maintain and the first time installation. So it balances out in the end, but it's generally speaking, the asphalt's on the lower volume roads.
Thank you, Mitch. Any other questions on that item? If not, looking for a resolution on number 15.
Nope. Second.
Thank you. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Looking for resolution for number 16, receiving a feasibility report and calling for a public hearing on February 16th, 2021 for street improvements on 8th Avenue Northwest, North Main Street, 4th Street Northwest, and 8th Avenue Southwest, 27th Street Southwest to 29th Street Southwest. Mitch?
So these two projects are a little different. They're not quite as involved as the previous projects we discussed. So we're looking at a mill and overlay for these two streets. This is where you grind off the top layer of asphalt and then repave the top layer back. So 8th Avenue Northwest, we're looking at 1.5 inch mill and overlay from Main Street to 4th Street, going past the hospital, and then it's actually 8th Place through a residential neighborhood there. And then 8th Avenue Southwest, from 27th Street west to the dead end, we would mill and overlay 1.5 inches on the east half of the road. And then on the west half, the pavement's in a little worse condition. So we do a full depth mill there where we remove all of the pavement and then put a new 4-inch section back. And with this project, we look to install drain tile. There are a lot of houses that are discharging their sump pump lines into the street, which is contributing to the deterioration of the pavement. So we'll get all that water underground and give it a place to go rather than sitting on the street. And the total estimated cost for these two streets is $125,000.
Okay. Thank you, Mitch. Any questions, council?
Yeah, it's for Tom Dankert. How are you going to keep your car clean as you drive the truck down the constructed street on summer?
I'm gonna park in your garage.
Those are good. Good.
We can work out an agreement.
Any other questions? If not, looking for a resolution for number 16.
So moved.
Thank you, Paul. Second?
Second.
Jeff, thank you. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. If number 16 was routine, I think number 17 brings a little more flair. This is seemingly corrects a pretty dangerous curve in the city and provides a little more safety. Number 17 is receiving a feasibility report and calling for a public hearing on February 16th, 2021 on the 31st Street Southwest Road realignment. Mitch.
So 31st Street Southwest is a county road, so it's owned and maintained by Moore County. And the county is proposing a realignment project. Currently the road goes along, I believe it's a Shell gas station out near the Oakland and I-90 exit, and then it wraps around to the west around the apartment building past the old Johnson Floral greenhouses. And they are planning to realign the road to the east side of the apartments, kind of between the apartments and gas station, and then as it goes south, jogging back to the original 31st Street alignment. And the city's participating on this project. We've helped coordinate some of the utility relocation that needs to be done, as well as acquiring or assisting the county acquire right-of-way through the area. When the project is built, we would be participating with storm sewer, kind of planning for future development out there to capture some of the excess rain runoff that will happen after there's development out there. So what the project is going to look like is the realignment. They're going to create a new roadway that with a 10-foot wide bike trail that would go along the east side. The street will have curb and gutter and asphalt pavement, and they'll run this realignment from Oakland Avenue south to 5th Avenue, where there is the electrical substation there. The total estimated cost for the project is $1.4 million. The city's portion of that would be $400,000. Estimated $50,000 of that would be going towards street construction. That would be our responsibility, and the remaining $350,000 would be for creating a stormwater detention pond and running the piping to our existing stormwater system.
Okay, thank you, Mitch. Any questions for item number 18? I'm sorry, 17?
I'm really excited about this because I've hated this corner for a very long time. And so I really like the design. I'm curious, the existing 31st Street Southwest, as I look to the design, I can see a little bit of a chute off of the new road towards where the old Johnson Floral is. Is that old road going to be torn up, or is it going to be left and relabeled like 31st Drive? What does that look like?
That will remain in place for the time being. The reason for that is north, if you're looking at the aerial photo, north of where old Johnson Floral used to be, there is a parcel that we need to continue to provide roadway access to. And as well as during the project, when this is all being realigned, we will need to provide access to the residents of the apartment building. So they will continue to use 31st Street on the west side, while we're building on the east side. So that roadway will remain in place until something happens development-wise on the west side of 31st Street. And then at that point, it could potentially be removed in the future. And Stephen can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the city would take ownership of that original 31st Street once the county realigns the new 31st Street.
Okay, thank you. I'll entertain a motion for number 17.
So moved.
Who was that?
Second.
Second.
Did you get that, Tom?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Bashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. Looking for a motion for 18, receiving a feasibility report and calling for a public hearing on February 16, 2021 on intersection improvements on 4th Street Northwest and 3rd Avenue Northwest. Mitch?
So 4th Street and 3rd Avenue Northwest, we talked about this in early December at a work session, kind of looking at several different options for this intersection and how that could be improved. Currently, there's a signal light that is originally built in 1968 and is due for replacement or something different with the traffic control here at the intersection. And kind of the direction we were given at the work session was to, the selected option, I guess, was to close 3rd Avenue Northwest from 4th Street to 5th Street, install bump outs on the south side of 3rd Avenue with rectangular rapid flashing beacons, and then install a mid-block bump out by the high school and the music center with rectangular rapid flashing beacons as well. Total estimated cost for this work is $397,000. And there are actually no assessments with this project, but we're using state aid dollars.
Questions?
With 3rd Avenue Northwest being closed, do we know what that would look like physically, like our concrete barriers, planters, what that looks like? And does that street still maintain as a street, or is it going to get turned into something, if you will?
For now, we would just look at closing it and maintaining the right-of-way. So the city would still own the physical ground. We would likely remove the pavement for a portion and create some sort of green space, but we would not remove the entire roadway, no.
Any other questions? All right, thanks for your work on all these, Mitch. Looking for a motion for number 18.
So moved.
Thank you, Paul. Second?
Second.
Becky, thank you. Tom?
Councilmember Fisher,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Obala,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Postma,
Aye.
Pashusta,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cruising right along. Citizens addressing the council, if there are any, either on Zoom or Mike's the only one in person. Okay, moving on. Honorary council member is currently Santino Deng. I spoke with him today. He was going to Zoom in for a little bit if he could, but he had to take his child to Winona, so he was going to jump off early. I'm assuming he's not here, so we have no honorary council member comments. Reports and recommendations, Craig?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be working with their new council members to set up meetings with staff to go over sort of an orientation. So Obala and Mike, please look for an email. We'll get something set up with you. And then the only other report that I have is Kevin Nelson from Park and Rec.
Go for it.
Trees from Iowa, with Randy or meeting with it. Sorry.
Trees. Randy and I are meeting with the trees contractor, the one that was approved a couple of weeks ago, this coming Wednesday morning to discuss the budget/calendar year. He's chomping at the bit, ready to go. Nature Center at present remains closed. The venue is similar, from what I read, the EO to a museum. So it looks like we cannot open till at least next week. If it snows, however, we'll be opening for cross-country skiing, even if it's via outside rentals. Arenas, we did reopen for practices today, and by current EO, we plan to open for games beginning January 14th. As far as other activities going on, Dome Ball, we're set with starting with baseball. We've currently got 23 registrations, and the registrations go through Friday. Youth wrestling began tonight. Only 13 people signed up thus far. Victory Volleyball, right now we're planning to have 12U, 13U, 15U, and 16U teams. Some of those will be starting the middle of January, others not till the beginning of February. The rec van, I don't know if everybody knows or not, we're getting a wrap put around that was donated by the Eagles Club, so that should be finished up this week. It'll be large and graphic and exciting to see coming down the road. It'll be identifiable when we have rolling rec out in the parks this next summer. Dates for baseball and softball tournaments have been coming in the past few weeks, and for spring and summer, so we're hoping also to run our annual MSF State Volleyball Tournament the last weekend in March, but stay tuned for that as well. Questions?
Any questions for Kevin?
Yes, Kevin, when are you going to start flooding the outdoor rinks?
This week, weather permitting. Temperature reached into the 30s again today. They did dump some water this morning, and by the time they went out this afternoon, it was soaked into the ground again. So we should get some cooperative freezing by middle of the week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other reports, Craig?
No, that's all, thank you.
All right, reports from city council. So let's have the honor start with Obala, and then you can take her from there.
All right.
Maybe Obala, and then Postma.
Councilmember Obala.
Well, I don't have much to say. It has been an overwhelming day today, and it is a great honor to
Speak closer to the mic.
Oh,
And loud.
sorry.
And
Yeah.
loud. Speak up.
Yeah, it has been a great honor to be sworn in today, and this is the American dream come true. And it has been full of emotion from all the community, and a lot of my family. Some drove from so far, Sioux Falls, Twin City, to come and witness this. So this is the American dream I've been looking for, and I'm looking forward to work with everyone in the city to serve in one of the best cities in America. So Austin always is the best. We can't compare this city with any city outside there. So I'm looking forward to learn more in the few months coming, and it's going to be a great service. So I'm honored. Thank you everyone for the support.
Thank you, Obala.
Councilmember Postma.
Thank you. I just want to say how excited I am to join this group and express a special appreciation to Ann and the city staff who've done a great job of guiding me to what needs to be done to become seated in the city council. I appreciate those who took the time to set up our separate swearing-in ceremonies today so that we could all stay appropriately distanced, and really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to learning a lot more. And I do want to put in a little plug because I think it's going to come up before our next meeting, which is that the Austin Human Rights Commission, as they normally are putting on something for MLK Day. And you can find it on their Facebook site, but it looks like it's going to be a Zoom chat and learn with Dr. Christopher Lehman about Southern slaveholders and the Northern Star State. So kind of some of the interesting things that had to do with Minnesota back then. So put in a plug for that as well.
Thank you, Mike.
Councilmember Fisher.
Yeah, I want to welcome the new members, Obala and Mike, and Steve, new mayor. Did all right job tonight.
Thanks, Mike.
And I think, maybe if the mayor's got some time, he might have a story or two on that 31st Street curve there. Maybe he'd like to share with us.
I recall it.
Let's have a good year.
Councilmember Baskin.
Yeah, I'll echo what Paul said in welcoming Mike and Obala. Steve is the mayor, congratulating Paul, obviously, on starting his second term. I guess if I'm reading it correctly, Steve King was a council member from the 2nd Ward for 12 years and couldn't get the curve changed, and Mike Postma did it in his first meeting. Is that the right?
Yeah, dead man's curve, but that's Postma's curve now.
I may have had an incident last winter on an icy day. It involved me digging my truck out of the shoulder of the off-ramp behind that curve. So yes, hopefully that won't be repeated anymore.
But no, yeah, in all seriousness, obviously I think we've got, we obviously lost a lot of institutional knowledge with the folks that left, but I think we bring in great energy and fresh perspectives with the folks that are now here, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody. And I think 2020 was a challenging year for our community in large ways. I think we did a really nice job rallying together, and I'm looking forward to moving forward into 2021 and seeing some light at the end of the tunnel here. So,
Well said, thank you.
Councilmember Waller.
Yeah, I'd like to welcome Mike and Obala to the council. I'm really excited to have you guys on the council. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. Great job, Steve.
Thank you.
Councilmember Pashusta.
Yeah, I too want to welcome Mike and Obala and congratulate Paul and Steve. And I have nothing else either.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Well, even though it appears that Mr. Dankert is affected by our construction projects this year, I'm a little disappointed that none of the council members are. It seems like that's an annual event. Stephen and Mitch must have mixed up some addresses or something in the process, but good job there.
I do have to drive across the road, but Tom's paying for it. So
Yeah. Seems like we've all been hit. But anyway, and also thanks to Mitch and Stephen on, it seems like getting these feasibility reports done right away this first meeting and making sure we can get these projects done, or started at least as early as possible, so they can get done on time is great. I also welcome Mr. Obala and Mr. Postma. Look forward to working with you gentlemen for at least the next couple of years, and hopefully beyond that. And Mr. King, congratulations. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Jeff.
Mayor King.
I got nothing either, but it was an incredible day to witness 3 swearing-ins and certainly just to have the diversity of Obala being a young man. That's where his diversity comes into play. He is true an Austin resident, no doubt, but it's quite a historic day, no doubt. For those that were here to hear Obala, he said some excellent words that were very, very heartwarming and meaningful, and so to see where our council has gone and where our city has gone is just remarkable in the few short years that I've been back here. So I applaud the voters of Austin for voting in another very dynamic council and a council that certainly gets things done. So I wish nothing but the best to the new council folks. I'm sure you'll be getting phone calls. You'll respond appropriately and timely, and people will just appreciate being heard. So, yeah, with that, I also want to commend Tom Dankert for being able to pull off Postma, followed by Pashusta today, which is going to be entertaining throughout the next 4 years to listen to that. And I have nothing else, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to Tuesday, January 19th. 2021.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Fisher.
Aye.
Baskin. Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Obala.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Postma.
Aye.
Pashusta.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0, Your Honor. Could we
Aye.
have a few minutes to close out?
Sure. We'll take a 5-minute break and then be back. And for those that are here, not to make the people on Zoom jealous, but we have grinder sandwiches, so help yourself.
Whatever you want.
We'll go after. This won't take long.
No.
That's about it.
No.
That's about the only thing we're doing.
Could I get you to sign the minutes?
Thank you.
when the new Speaker of the House would come in, they'd always get a new wood block.
Oh, really?
for the gavel.
To beat it down.
If you need to make any adjustments, you just let us know.
And sometime in January, we have the portable mics coming.
Yeah.
Like a lapel thing?
No, it'll be like this, only be on a stand, so
Oh,
you can
okay.
move
Oh,
wherever
okay.
you want,
Nice.
so you can get closer.
Yeah, it seems like we've had some history with these mics.
Yeah, they're due for.
Sometimes they work at home, sometimes they don't.
These don't help either than that.
I believe you're technically, if you wish, to remove your mask, you're able to.
Is that right?
Yeah, you can. That's whether you wanna be,
No,
whether you wanna be a, example for math cleaning or.
That's right, yeah.
That's probably the only thing. Yeah, legally, you're no problem. Yeah. Or we all actually could. We were involved in the meeting.
Nice job, Obala.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We got our shoes on tonight. Now we got a chance to look.
He's got sensible shoes.
I didn't wear anything special.
They weren't, they weren't,
I'd like to have them, they're sensible shoes.
They weren't as snappy as we
It's
kinda.
colorful. It's not match them.
Right, there wasn't the color.
I want to see those 200 that you're hiding at home.
Yeah.
Those 200 shoes there.
He's got quite a bit.
Well, it's the winter time, it's tough for me to, a day like today where it's kinda sloppy out there and stuff, you don't wanna wear your good shoes.
No.
Say, Craig, Holly sent in a chat, work session, I'm sure you have it noted somewhere, but Culture and Arts needs one council member. Sustainability is inactive, thanks.
Yeah.
So that's on the work session commission board, so just if you'd note that, she must need somebody for the Culture and Arts Committee to replace Councilmember Helly.
Yeah.
And she's staying on, right, as the
Yes.
chair or something,
Well,
or we need a council person.
yeah. They'll elect their chair, but.
Is that on
That's
here?
what they want, so I'm sure they'll do that.
I don't see Arts on here.
You think it's running though?
I don't know, it's a puddle.
Oh, yeah, I bet that isn't on there because it's a new one.
And we're gonna not do a sustainability task force,
Yeah.
no? Or just keep it and just put those active players with that,
Yeah, inactive.
okay?
Say, Jeff? Mr. Austin?
Yes?
Laura Helly is on our street projects for this year, but she tricked us by stepping down.
Ah, there it is, that's correct, yes. The assumption was made she would be here still.
Right, that's not a technicality.
Good cover, Stephen, thank you. See, I do have a question for you, Stephen. These feasibility studies, I'm sure, are a formality and a step in the process, but in the 14 years that I've been here, I don't think we've ever had a feasibility report that was not feasible.
Just works out that way, I guess.
Strangely enough.
Strangely enough, awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like the truth and taxation hearing. If you really wanted to have an impact on the truth and taxation hearing, you come to the budget meetings early in the year, right?
Yeah, because by the time that meeting, it's all over.
Backwards,
Yeah,
yeah.
they should really come to the feasibility meeting and say.
This isn't feasible, I don't find this at all good.
No, it's really good. It doesn't need fixing.
That's down in my basement. There's one rack of shoes right there.
Wow, you got.
The shoe horse race is on.
Like every day, do you just wear a different one?
I rarely wear, I rarely wear my own. I used to be.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like I did do it, now I wear it right now. Now I just wear them, I got these years ago.
Those are nice ones.
Super comfortable.
Nice.
Smell well. My last purchase before Steve King had the Nike Elvis closed down on me.
Yeah, blame me. Oh, that's funny.
He's the one who told me it's closed.
That's right.
Associates closure with.
Yep, that's something.
All right.
We're good to go.
Ready to go.
Everybody's back on. We're gonna start the work session with, item number 1, 2021 assessment rates. Stephen?
Since Mitch is here, we're gonna get our money's worth from him, so he's gonna take care of these tonight as well.
Mitch?
Thank you for the vote of confidence.